Morning everyone. Bill Hurtado with Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're in Frederick, Colorado. Frederick, Colorado is about 25 miles north here from Denver, so you can find us on the map easily that way. Today I am going to show you a pre-owned 2021 Winnebago EKKO. So just a little history lesson for some of you. I know a lot of you have been watching EKKO videos, so you're going to find this a bit redundant. Apologize for that. But for you newbies, fresh here today on YouTube Live, the EKKO has been, dare I say, the hottest seller going on the planet for a few years now. Winnebago has really hit a home run with this this particular floor plan, and most certainly on this chassis, which has been very, very difficult to get for all manufacturers. But we have it here for those of you that have seen the EKKO, want the EKKO, been looking at it, waiting for a very lightly used pre-owned model that you can save a lot of money on. Well, stay tuned, because this is the unit for you. So let's talk about some of the particulars on this. The Ford Transit chassis, very difficult to get. Rumor has it that Jeff Bezos from Amazon bought them all up for his fleet, and that kind of put the whole industry into a tailspin there. But we have it here, we have it now, and this is the most sought after chassis for a few reasons. One, that 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 twin turbo has 310 horsepower. So that's very powerful for a unit this size right here. That, coupled with the 10-speed transmission on here, makes it very fuel efficient. It handles like a dream. You notice the dual wheels it is on the 1-ton chassis right there. So a wonderful, wonderful chassis. And all of that comes in an all-wheel drive package right here. So those are the big reasons why that particular chassis has been so hard to get. So they'll bounce back. You know, maybe next year we'll be able to get a few more of those. But for now, if you've been looking for something slightly pre-owned, save a lot of money on, the EKKO that you've been wanting, here it is. Now this is kind of a basic model. It doesn't have a lot of frills as far as the options go on EKKO. But they haven't changed this design on this 22C. This is the same now as it was then. So let's talk about the Winnebago aspect of it in particular. Winnebago, of course, builds 90% of their own stuff that they put in their units. And what's beautiful about that is, and believe me, I have lived this over the years. If you need a part for a Winnebago that's 30, 40 years old, you can still get it. The other manufacturers cannot make a claim like that. So that is a huge advantage for you buying Winnebago. They build their own door right here. Obviously many other things. There is an option on the EKKO in this compartment right here to have a slide out cooking center or outdoor kitchen. And that would have a little freezer down on the bottom and a cooktop up on the top. That cooktop would hook up to the port over here on the left to get your propane for the cooktop there. Well, not everybody wants that, but the fact that it's not here is something that actually appeals to me. I love the idea of having the refrigerator out there, or the refrigerator freezer combo. You've got plenty of room for that in there. I kind of think the cooktop is a bit redundant, because you do have the LP port outside. You can put a multitude of different appliances out here and hook straight up to that. So I'd much rather have the space. I still have room for the refrigerator freezer, despite the fact that this has a pretty large refrigerator in it now. But that's just me. I think it's a smart way to go. You don't always have to take that freezer with you either. So we also have outdoor patio outlet out here to continue your AC power to the outside. And then you can run a television outside over here too. even a 12-volt outlet if you have a DC television. It's got the nice powder-coated black fancy wheels on there. The hand-cooked tires on this. Oh, coincidentally, this has 15,500 miles on it. Lots of tread left on there. Tires are wonderful. I just drove this morning. It's smooth as silk. So very nice setup right there. The Truma AquaGo is an on-demand water heater. That works very well, gives you water, hot water really fast. And we have the dual LP bottles in here, the 20-pound bottles, so you can exchange those if you're out somewhere very easily. Not have to drive the whole unit in someplace to go get propane. We talked about the LP port down here. One of the key features to the EKKO has always been this garage area back here. So it's really huge. It's got the molly wall for hanging extra accessories of your own right there. It has AC and DC hookups on each end. There's 3 ways into this garage. It has a removable floor pan down here that you can take out and just hose off. It also has a heat port over there that closes off, so you can keep your items back here above temperature and not let things freeze up. Great setup. There is a smart track floor on each side on the bottom and each side on the top, so you can tie down multiple ways inside here. It's really a brilliant design. One of the options on the EKKO that, quite frankly, many people choose is called graphics delete. This one does have the graphics on it. Well, if you want to delete those, obviously you can just take them off. But this is what it looks like when it comes with graphics. So really kind of nice, I think. Some people like maybe the clean look and not cluttered, and I can get that. But it's easy to go off from here as opposed to on. This does have the 5,000-pound hitch on it already, and the 7-way plug next to that. Many of you heard me talk about the 7-way plug, how that's really a small item, but it's very important because you can always adapt down from 7 to a 6, 4. They even make a 5-way plug on some little trailers. So you can always adapt down from 7. You can't adapt up from the others. Wired into that same plug is also the integrated brake controller that comes on this chassis right here. So if you're towing a trailer with electric brakes, you're already set up for it. You don't have to spend a nickel more to give you that feature. It does have a really nice backup camera up there on the top. Very nice strong ladder. I climbed up there this morning just to confirm, and yes, this one does have the huge solar array. So a total of 445 watts of solar power. It's big, really nice. So those batteries tend to stay topped off all the time that way. Remember, there's 2 more ways into the garage area right here. And then over here, this is the wet bay area. So this is a heated compartment. You have 50 gallons of fresh water storage. That goes underneath the bed back here, which we can't see once I raise the bed in there, but trust me, it's going full length along that bed over there. It's got a 50-gallon gray tank as well. I think it's 50 and 51 actually. So that was nice of them to give you that extra gallon right there. You do have hot and cold running water outside, and this manifold system is color coded, so that depending on the operation that you want to perform, you just turn those quarter turn gadgets, valves to the corresponding picture, and away you go. A little light for setting up at night. It's got a water pump switch out here too, which is nice, so you can turn on and off from here or inside. And then you have low point drains, and you have the ability to winterize this thing yourself very fast and easy. And because your gray tank is setting up pretty high right here, and you have the discharge, you're going to get full fast discharge on that gray water tank very easily. Now, if you're wondering about black tank, because all I've mentioned is gray so far, that's going to be the cassette style right here. So this is a 5-gallon holding tank that is a separate entity from the rest of the water system here. If you choose to use this thing in the wintertime up in the mountains, it's really cold. First of all, that Truma heating system in here is going to keep you toasty warm. But this can still be used. You can still use your toilet because, again, it's in the heated zone up inside there, and it's separate from the rest of the water system. So very nice to be able to have that, carry some fresh water with you, still be able to use the toilet. Some people carry another cassette holding tank like this in the back, so it doubles your capacity to 10 gallons that way. This is 30 amp service on this one. You may have seen the cord in the garage back there. This is the vent for that Truma heating system. For those of you that don't know, the Truma is a vessel of glycol, which we call heat transfer fluid, and that warms up via electricity or propane, and then circulates around the perimeter on the interior and blows out in different zones, including that garage, like I mentioned back there, which you can close off if you want maximum efficiency to the inside. But a great efficient system. I've got the same system on my RV, and I will tell you, it works fantastic. So kudos to the Truma people. That is a thing that's very common nowadays on upper end RVs like the EKKO here. So this one is a basic unit in that it doesn't have the big lithium package and the huge inverter. So that's kind of trendy with the electrical systems nowadays. But this one is more of an old school type setup. It has the regular generator right there. So that's a 2800 watt. Obviously start and stop from inside or out. And it's got the 2 AGM batteries. So this has a 2000 watt inverter, which is ample to run the microwave and outlets and things like that, instead of the 3000 that would come on the lithium system. So just like we've seen for a lot of years, very simple. It's what we're used to. I like this. I like this nice, basic, simple generator, AGM batteries, 2000 watt inverter. All right. You know, the Sprinter has been very popular for smaller units like this, and they use the same kind of a deal where when that door is closed, you're locked on your fuel hatch right there. So just wanted to point that out. That's something that they kind of share, a feature there that they share. We'll talk more about the cab when we get on the inside there. Wanted to show you under the hood. Once again, this is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. This Ford engine has been around since 2011, and it's a twin turbo with 310 horsepower, 10-speed transmission on this. Very easy to get to everything. If you need a jump port, you can get to it real easy under the red cap right there. Your coolant reservoir, your brakes, your oil fill, your oil check, your transmission check, your windshield washer fluid. Everything right here, very easy to get to. So, looking good right there. This is a very quiet engine and very responsive. Got the bi-xenon HID headlights on here. Not only good looking, but they look great out on the road when you're driving too. A lot of nice features on that right there. So let's talk a little bit on the inside here. It's going to get a little tight, you know, between the cameraman and I, but we'll do our best to flow right through this for you. There's some cool stuff on the EKKO right here. First thing when you come in right here, you do have the 2 front seats, and those will both swivel around to face this way. And I've got the table down right now. So I've really opened up this space right here. With those seats brought around this direction, it legitimizes this as a nice little living room area. And then of course, when the dinette table is up, that creates a dinette for you to sit there and eat at. So really nice, very easy to use everything. Let me go back to the very back here. So I'm going to talk about this table in a sec because it goes up front over there. But this has some really nice stuff in this bedroom. First of all, these are very comfortable beds and they're nice and long. So the twin bed setup right here allows you, that coupled with the Frawley system that Winnebago has, makes it really nice and comfy right there. But it gives you plenty of room. You can sit in here, you can stand in here, you can get dressed, you can you know, get up easily, go to the restroom, whatever you want to do. So great setup in the bedroom right here. I wanted to point out these windows. Once again, I have these windows in my own RV and I really love these things. Somebody should have gotten like an award for inventing these. But this is a dual pane polycarbonate. So not only does it insulate better, but it also keeps environmental noise down from outside. That'll go into multiple positions and stay wherever you want it. Being a jalousie style window right there that can be open when it's raining. And then you have a screen from the top or a full block out from the bottom. And those can even come together if you want some privacy and airflow. So very nice in that regard. One of the things I love about this window is this transition slot right here. So if I want full closure, I come all the way in and latch it. But if I want security and a little airflow, I go into the center position. Now I've got the security, I've got a little bit of a breeze coming through. It's just so well thought out. I wish I would have invented that. There is, against this wall over here, it's hard backed so you can mount a television in here and it's pre-wired for it. So that's easy to have a TV in the bedroom. And we've got ducted air conditioning, so we don't have a big return air grill sticking way down up inside here. That makes it run a little bit quieter also when the AC is going. We've got USB charging, 12 volt outlet, AC outlet, all up inside there, just like this right here. So very nice if you want to keep your devices charged up. So I mentioned, I wanted to show you like some of the storage here. So yes, there's a drawer and a closet right here, but it's easier to see if I raise this up. So there's that drawer. That gray tank I mentioned is in behind over there. Your closet area, obviously 2 ways to get into that. There's the extra hubcaps for this thing. So very nice and easy. Both sides, of course, do the same thing. Good bedroom, really nice. I mentioned the Truma system. So that right here is the panel that you would go through, and you have your different features that you're going to go through. If you want to set your temperature, you want to set a certain amount of time, you want a timer itself. It's really kind of a simple device to use. But you can set this thing up so that, you know, you want to keep it 60 at night while you're sleeping, but you want it at 68 or 70 just before you wake up in the morning. So set the timer for that. Temperature comes up inside here. You wake up to a nice warm RV, climbing out of your covers there. So really nice. Now, during the day while you're out playing, you don't have to have this thing that warm. So again, set your temperature down for those daytime hours. Fully programmable, you can do it all yourself. Then we've got the attic fan control. We've got, I think that's the bathroom light right there. That thing is a thermistor, temperature sensor for inside here. So those of you that know EKKOs know that the bathroom has been the #1 cool feature, if you will. And for those of you that haven't seen this, by all means, let me show you. So, nice bathroom, plenty of room for just any size person. That toilet, remember, is the cassette style, and that swivels, okay, for different angles right there. It's got its own sink, window, medicine cabinet. everything you want. Well, you're looking at this and you think, well, that's great, but how do I take a shower? Well, very simple. Winnebago has this design where this comes all the way over, and now your room just became a shower. We've got the shower head hanging down there because we just winterized this thing. But what a great bathroom, multifunctional that way. Taking up the same amount of space, but you get toilet and shower room all in one. And it's not considered a wet bath. So, all right, moving up on this side right here, this 5 cubic foot refrigerator is really very nice. So door storage, very deep because it's a 12 volt fridge. You don't have the fins in the back there taking up a third of your space. Sliding drawers, there's actually another one that goes over here. And okay size freezer, but not huge. This is why some people opt for the outdoor kitchen with the refrigerator freezer out there. So something to consider if you want more freezer space. Now you've got a good option with that compartment down there, down below. All right, standard microwave. This up overhead, this is mood lighting that I love having those on when you're traveling at night down the road. The co-pilot can come back here and do whatever they want, see just fine. Those lights aren't going to interfere with the driver. 2-burner cooktop. Again, back to simplicity. This doesn't have the, you know, the induction cooktop and complicated, you know, cooking procedures, if you will, like with convection and everything else. Very simple, basic unit right here. But the overall premise is this is the 22C EKKO. So it's got the cool floor plan and it's got all the stuff I want. Decent size sink for a small unit like this. Now, they no longer do this red color and on the seats and on the countertops over here. I personally kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool looking. But the very early EKKOs even had this red up on the overhead cabinets up here. And that was a bit too much. So this is nice. This is when they started making the transition and getting rid of some of the red, but they still kept some of it. So I think they did a good job. So let me trade places with you here. I want to mention that, you know, first of all, very easily, this seat swivels around, and then that table that I started to show you back there, that drops onto this post and it can swing around and meet the person that's sitting in this chair right here. You may have noticed on that bed back there that there's these bolster cushions because you do have a little bit of a drop down into the cab area. That'll get you up a little bit higher so it feels more like a normal seat. But this table is great because this will come around. Now you've got dining for 3 easily, or 4 possibly if it's just kids. But what I love about this table is it has an extension on it, and that'll bring it up to this level right here. Now it swings around and becomes an extension for the countertop this way. So whoever's in charge of the kitchen has that extra space to work with. All right. Now, before I sit down there is an option for a TV up here, and very easy. You can just get one and mount it up there. It's already wired over here with the satellite wiring, cable TV wiring, direct antenna, and USB, or I'm sorry, HDMI. All right. So while we're looking at this, first of all, I got to say, this is a great, easy to see everything, very well designed ergonomically, if you will. And let me fire this up a little bit so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Oh, I've got the passenger door open. That'll never shut up if I don't close it. Okay. Also, it was warning me that the seat was turned, so both things were there. All right, so first of all, our touch screen over here, it's a very simple design on this thing, but right now I've got it in the home position. So my GPS is going to show up. It's going to show that I don't have any audio connected. I don't have a phone connected, but obviously that would be in place right there if I did. For navigation, if I back out of this far enough, you'll see where we are, a little bit north of Denver right there. But in the auto position, it's going to automatically change that screen size for where you're going. So it'll come in a little bit tighter when you get close to your destination, be a little further out when you're, miles away on the highway. That also, I have controls over here. I'm sorry, no, I gotta go back over here. I've got controls for my phone, what input I have from audio, perhaps Bluetooth from my phone, listening to a podcast or something. In the apps position right here is where you would connect a device. Now, this has Sirius XM Travel Link. I've got Sirius on 2 of my vehicles, but I don't have this Travel Link feature right here. So there's some things that Sirius provides to you, and I can only assume it's going to be relative to your local proximity right there. So it's probably going to let you know, hey, here's our local stations in this area right here, and I'm sure there's some other features, but Sirius XM already installed on this makes it very nice. Now, up here in the front, I have a multifunction display that'll give me all kinds of information. And I can change this thing. Say there's my motorhome right there. I hit my settings button right here. What do I want to display? Particular vehicle settings, what my maintenance intervals are right now. There is my trip meters, how many miles per gallon I'm getting. 9 is not correct. This thing is going to get 14 to 15 right in there. Regular numeric display, of course, for your speed right there. Now the driver assist, that's important because I was looking at the original MSRP on the truck for this thing right here. And that let me know that this has all of the safety enhancements, be it adaptive cruise, automatic braking, lane mitigation. It's all built into this one already. And you can change those settings on this one yourself quite easily. In the navigation mode, it'll give us a compass, tell us where we're going. There's no audio source right now. And then on driver assistance, I can enable or disable those things if they become a nuisance right there. Say, for example, on the cruise control, for those of you that are more old school like me and you like to just use cruise control and, I'm willing to slow down or speed up for somebody else right there, then I can leave it in normal right there. But I have to admit that adaptive cruise is a nice feature because it's going to keep the distance that you set to the vehicle in front of you. So they slow down, this will slow down. Kind of nice. Just, the world is passing me by with technology, as it is a lot of us, but really nice feature nonetheless. Another thing I found that's kind of interesting up here, I think it's funny. It's got regular cup holders, but on driver and passenger side, there's this gigantic spot. And I haven't tried it, but it looks to me like maybe a 2-liter bottle will fit in there. So if you can drive far enough and drink that whole 2-liter bottle, good on you, mate. I can't do it myself. But there we are. So pre-owned, this 2022 is on a 2021 chassis. That's normal. That's kind of the way it always works with RVs in this B+ style right here. 15,500 miles on it. There is a 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the drivetrain, which is still in effect, of course. So you've got a lot of warranty left on this thing, on the important stuff, engine, transmission, so on and so forth. And it's just in great condition throughout. If we look really hard, we can find a little ding here and there, but the amount of money you're going to save on this versus waiting a year to get a new one is considerable. There's a big difference right there. So this is a great opportunity for those of you who have in your head said, you know what, I'm going to hold out. There'll be a used one that shows up. Well, it did. Here it is. And this is a great chance for you to get in, save a lot of money, have the unit you want, and be comfortable in knowing that everything is really dialed in perfect here. So, Bill Hurtado, Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado, 25 miles north of Denver. You see my number down there on the bottom, 714-809-4813. Is it right here? Okay. Please give me a call. I want to send you information on this thing, tell you everything about it. I know you may have some questions. I'll be turning my phone back on here in about 3 minutes. So let me have it. I'm here for you. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day. See you next week.